Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here. Hope you had a really good weekend. Well, we've got a lot of very interesting maps this week. I promise you they are interesting indeed. And we're going to start off with this one, which is based in the Caribbean. So let's start off with the menu. Let's have a look at the menu. Bring up the menu. Thank you. So we're going to start off with this beautiful waterfront. Look at that. Very nice indeed. Then we're going to buy some mystery commercial properties. Oh yes. And we're going to finish with this really cool LUT and theme combo. Right, so anyway, this map, it's based on the Nassau Island in the Bahamas. It's Loveliss map by Benito, Camela. Okay, Benito, I'm also going to stick with your first name from now on. Yep, there's your start square. Not on the coast, but plenty of access to water. That's the important thing. And there are your resources, with fertile land all the way down in the corner, but not much else to talk about. Did you forget? Did you forget? I don't know. Right, what do we need? Well, there's a few trees and stuff. And although we're in the Caribbean, we're using the Seychelles theme and Seychelles LUT as well. And there's a little picture of the map. There you go. Right, we're down to ground level. Now, first of all, it's nice and flat. Plenty of build location, which is, I think, quite important as well. Minor glitching between the roads along here, but once again, not the world's biggest problem. I'm sure most of you don't care a fig about this little slight glitching in the middle. But yes, anyway, what can I say? It's very green, very flat. Got some hills in the distance. Can you see them? Yep. The problem is, you see, when you get maps that are flat, quite often there's not that much to talk about. Sometimes the map maker is clever, and sometimes they're, well, shall we say, adequate. And I think today's map is going to be adequate. Right, so we're getting closer to the hill. There we are. There's the hill. There it is on the right, and there's one on the left as well. Oh, we're going between the hills. Oh, aren't we clever? Right, and then we've got this intersection. It looks like a snail. Anyway, I quite like this. This is two lanes split off coming. We're going to see, look, there you go, 2 lanes, break it off. I quite like that. I do. And it's very nicely tooled around. I don't know if it's been plopped in or handmade, but it's still very nice indeed. And then we'll head off towards the start square with, see that on the left? That's a hill. On the right, no hill. Quite, what, bland. Kind of like a half-finished map, although it does say in the description that you can do your own decorating. Now, here's the start square, and see how the roads are right next to each other. It's actually really quite difficult to build off from when you've got 2 roads right next to each other like that. I advocate definitely separating them at the point of entry. It's just a little bit difficult otherwise, unless you're using like road anarchy. But anyway, so that's my only grumble with that one. I don't have a problem with the roads next to each other like this, as you'll know from my map Merrickstowe. The roads were touching all the way underneath the rail there, and there's a nice intersection here that goes off to the fog. So what we do, a little bit of glitching in this intersection as well. Not too bad again, but it's a nice intersection. See, very nice sweeping intersection. Yeah, quite happy with that. But yes, once you get to the end of this road as well, where it all looks slightly steep, this little bit, just that little bit there, I'd like to see that smoothed out a little bit. It's a minor grumble, nothing really to mark down there. But yes, once you actually start building, you don't want to have to worry about, oh, I've got to separate the roads before I can do anything, especially if you want to play vanilla, because that would be a pain in the backside. So anyway, there you go, exactly together Legs together. Yes. We'll have none of that now, ladies. None of that. Right, so that's that. Let's go and have a look at the rail. The rail, well, fairly bland. We can see a rail over road here. Now, is this a smooth transition, or does it go up in one great big chunk? That's not too bad, because it's quite low. And if the bridge is low, then that's actually not too bad, but too low for that street lamp clipping right through as well. So there's a little mark off there as well. I don't know. Maybe I might let it go, possibly, as long as the rest of the map holds up, maybe. Right, so we're currently rolling through what I can best describe as being a snooker table. Perfectly flat, lovely and green. Not really much, just watch out for holes, because if you drop your balls into the hole, well, that's a bit of a joke, and we should avoid that, because that could be rude. Start square, through the middle of the start square, that was interesting. And up here, I'll tell you what, let's do something more interesting. And take in today's asset review. Now today's asset is more than one asset actually. BTB Peachtree Shops by BachToBaroque, who we've seen before. Now this isn't one, this is a number of assets all pushed together, which you'll be able to see more clearly when we go and have a look at the roofs. So you can be creative with this one. It's kind of like a modular set. A little bit of a drive through there, you see there? That comes through the other side so the cars can get in and out. That's a nice little touch on that particular unit. And we've got wide units, corner units, narrow units, units with a little parking bay in them like this one, and a very narrow unit as well. Let's go and have a look from above. And where you see these lines all joining up, that's the units all separated off. I've duplicated one of them for the sake of aesthetics. But yes, that's a good combination of units. BTB Peachtree Shops by BachToBaroque, and I like that. I'm definitely going to be using that when I finally build a city, maybe. If I can ever find time to build a city. I wish you guys would let me just take a 6-month break from making Waltz map and be creative. But the problem is you guys don't really enjoy my Let's Plays. To be fair, why would you? Why would you when there are much more skilled, much more creative city builders out there, the likes of Lux and Strict, and the list goes on. The list. I'm going to stop there before I fail to mention somebody who maybe will feel a little bit put out, because there are a lot of great detailers out there, and I'm okay. I'm all right, I guess. A little bit, maybe. Anyway, there's your shipping routes. Not much to say there. Now the water, there's no running water, i.e. rivers, so let's have a look at the sea and make sure we have water motion throughout the sea. Wherever we go down, as long as there's arrows, that means things are going to keep moving. Yeah, that's good. And let's move up here and have a look at the top end of this side. That's all good as well. Yep, happy with that. And right up here, maybe. Yeah, everything's good. Right, other side. Yeah, movement there. Fantastic. So anyway, as you can see, the sea is definitely a moving sea, which is very important, I would suggest, if you're wanting to play vanilla with your sewage. Now let's have a look at some of these lakes. Now this lake, there's a source here pushing out. I can't see where it's being sucked away to though. So I would suggest, although this is your start square and you are going to have to pump out sewage there if you're playing vanilla, buying a coastal tile as quickly as you can. That's, I think, key and critical to this map. Right, now let's have a look. First of all, it's an island map, but you can see it's cut off at both ends. That's clever. That is very clever. Okay, it means that we're not completely reliant on shipping routes. We've got a nice coast to work along as well. See, the detailing isn't bad. We had that one clipping lamppost, didn't we? The clipping is like very good, almost, I'm going to say vanilla standard. I know it's not vanilla. I know we've got non-vanilla trees, etc. But in terms of that kind of sort of level of the game, it has a kind of like a vanilla feel to it, which is great. got to say I like that. When you get a map that's vanilla but isn't vanilla, that's cool. These islands are really cool actually as well. Very nice work there on these 2 islands. Good rock placements make it look very interesting. Speaking of rock placements, I know we saw these on the intro, but nice undersea detailing as well on the sand. Make these look at that. Make them jump out. Very nice work indeed. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Shall we have a look at the lake? See if we've got any detailing under the lake. I don't see anything under there. No, it's seen. Let's pull up a little bit. A little bit of terraforming detailing, which doesn't look particularly realistic from height. It's also not realistic. These hills, so once again, they're small. I kind of like just a detailing issue. That's all that is. Something to have in the background. Yeah, nothing particularly special with those hills. You're not building into them. And possibly a little bit into this one, but honestly, I think that's just the background, really. Then we got this. I'm going to call it an island off of the island. You've got a bit of a strait going through the middle here, and some nice detailing up here on, once again, the island work, or the mini island work's pretty cool, like this here. We've got 2 jetties. Why jetties on this side? I'm suggesting scuba diving, not scuba driving. Don't go driving while you're underwater. It's not going to be, unless you're James Bond, not a good thing. And we got this lovely little essential lighthouse on the end, which I think, looking at that, is a good location. This squarish or rectangularish island there, pretty good for industrial or for docks, for shipping. I like that also. So yeah, obviously based on the real thing. Got a little cove there as well, which we're not looking at. Right, we're going to have a look at some more of these. Look at these detailing. Oh, and look, another essential lighthouse. I'm happy with that, yeah. And then the ship, which just failed to see it, of course. I think that is probably as much as we need to see of today's show. Aesthetically, do you know what? It's okay. It's just not outstanding, but it's nothing particularly ugly about it either. I think we can give that a solid 3 stars. Detailing, 1 or 2 glitchy bits, 1 or 2 okay bits. Once again, nothing outstanding in either direction. I think I'll give that 3 stars also. Gameplay potential, yeah, loads of places to build. 1 or 2 mini challenges, I think, that are not by design. Oh, go on, we'll give you 3 stars for that one as well. I don't think it's poor enough to get a 2. Certainly doesn't deserve 4. Loveliss map by Benito, Camela. And that is today's, well, tropical map. And it's quite pretty. Quite pretty, but not great. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on and do, oh, theme and LUT. Theme and LUT. Now, Alps Dolomites 2018 theme. Good old MrMiyagi. He's gone and taken his old Alps Dolomites theme and, well, basically tarted it up for 2018, for which we have to thank him very much indeed, because it was looking a little bit dated, and so now we have a brand new, fresher, cleaner, crisper, higher definition theme to use, with a snowy kind of like feel to it as well. Right, what have we got today? Well, today's 4 LUTs, they all seem very, very similar, don't they? If I'm honest with you, looking at this, they're fairly similar. Vanilla, Temperate, top left as usual. Top right, the satellite LUT, and bottom left, Cleyra. And then today's guest LUT in the bottom right, Relight Cool, which is one of the, I think it's 7, is it? Sure, it's 7 LUTs that comes with the Relight mod. And yeah, they're all very good in their own individual ways. I chose this one because obviously with the snow theme as well in the Alps Dolomites, I figured let's choose a cool theme to work with it. And so there we are. Right, what do we do now? I remember. It's time for a factoid fest, isn't it? BonBonB's Factoid Fest. Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Motorcyclist. I'm sure you heard that in the background. They wait for me to start reading and then they buzz past. If you own a motorcycle, please apologise. Just stick in the comments, say, I'm sorry, BonBon. Wasn't my fault personally, but my fellow motorcyclists should learn to know when you're recording. Never a dull moment. Are you ready? An acre of pasture can contain more than 3 million worms. I don't know who counted them, but somebody's gone out of the way there, tapped at the soil, seen how many come up. 3 million, or more than. How about that? Recent surveys, I say recent, this factoid comes from, so long ago, of library shelves have brought to light titles such as, oh, my speaking's gone again. Ready. Fun with knotting string. Well, to be honest with you, there has to be a book about knotting string, because how am I going to make my vests in the summer? Play with your own marbles. Of course. How to boil water in a paper bag. That's an essential life skill, and I'm sure there's definitely a video on YouTube or 3 showing you how to do that. And finally, the most important book you'll ever need. The Book of Marmalade. Its antecedents, that's things came before by the way, history and role in the world today. The role of marmalade in the world today. Oh, I hope it doesn't spread itself too thin. Dear. The highest number of recorded faints at a royal occasion occurred during the funeral of George V. 3 million people turned out to watch, and 15,000 of them fainted. 15,000. Ouch. On their flight across the Atlantic, Alcock and Brown carried with them, amongst other things, 2 stuffed cats. I mean, I only figured that they wanted one each. In Old English, a moment was an actual measured period of time, right? It was either 1/40th or 1/50th of an hour, which is about 1.5 minutes. So when you say back in a moment, you actually mean back in about 90 seconds. Now, I bet you didn't know that then, did you? What have we got? Errol Flynn and Emperor Nero both competed in the Olympic Games. Errol Flynn used to be an actor, by the way, a thespian back in the day, was as a boxer, and Emperor Nero at chariot racing. They weren't the modern Olympic Games, by the way. We've not had chariot racing since, I think it was Seoul. Anyway, the varnish of a violin affects its tone. Now that I didn't know. And if you play the violin, could you please let me know how it affects the tone? Because I think it'd be quite interesting for us to read in those comments. According to Rolls-Royce, the very posh car manufacturer, they also do things like aircraft engines, but according to Rolls-Royce, their cars never break down. They simply fail to proceed. Probably much like most of the traffic in your latest city build. That's not down to the engines. Oh, the fun we have. So, oh, look at that, we've run out of time. Oh, sorry. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget you can join me over on Patreon, see the full list of maps, etc, and vote on upcoming maps to appear on the show. You click on the link on the left, which will take you to the most recent video on the channel, and the link on the right to another map in the What's Map series. And of course, the big circle in the middle, click on that to subscribe, and don't forget to hit notification. Do it now! Do it now! Oh, too late.